After completing the crocheting of all motifs, we will join them together next. Please watch as I demonstrate the specific joining method. Now I'll explain using these few sample swatches. Here, the number of motifs is small, so the focus is on explaining the method. You can watch me demonstrate first, and then try it yourself. First, you can refer to the motif layout diagram and arrange all the motifs properly. The bottom row here is the first row, and the motif on the far left, motif 2, is the first motif. Let's start by crocheting the first motif of the first row. Take out motif 2. Make sure the right side of motif 2 is facing you. Insert the hook into this large chain space. Crochet 3 chains as the beginning chain. Then make 1 chain stitch for connection. Crochet 3 double crochets in the same chain space. And then 1 slip stitch to connect. Crochet 3 double crochets in the next large chain space. And connect with a chain stitch. Next, crochet 3 double crochets in the following chain space. And make 1 chain stitch to connect at the corner. You need to crochet 2 groups of 3 double crochets. Connected with 2 chain stitches. Then crochet 3 more double crochets. And connect with 1 chain stitch. We will also crochet 3 double crochets in these 2 spaces. And connect with a chain stitch. At the second corner, crochet 3 double crochets and 2 single crochets. This completes the edging of motif 2. Now we need to connect the second motif. Let's take out motif 1. Insert the hook into any corner. Both motifs should have their right sides facing you. Yarn over and insert the hook into the large chain space of motif 1. Crochet 3 double crochets. Next, fold it in half with 2 chain stitches at the center. This way, motif 1 will have its wrong side, facing the wrong side of motif 2. Then, on the chain stitch of motif 2, insert the hook from the back, and make a slip stitch. Then crochet 3 double crochets in the large chain space of motif 1. After completing the 3 double crochets, connect to motif 2. Slip stitch join into the corresponding large chain space of motif 2. Then crochet 3 double crochets on motif 1. Connect to motif 2. Crochet 3 double crochets at the corner of motif 2. In the large chain space at the corner of motif 2, crochet 1. Slip stitch. 1 chain stitch. Go back to motif 1. Continue with 3 double crochets. This connects motif 1 and motif 2 together. Then continue with 3 double crochets and 1 chain stitch. Repeat until only these 2 sides are left. Note that you need to crochet 2 groups of 3 double crochets between the bobble stitches. When only 2 sides are left, crochet 1 group of 3 double crochets at this corner. Two chain stitches. Connect the next motif. Make sure all motifs face toward yourself. Crochet 3 double crochets at the corner. Fold it with wrong sides together. Insert into the large chain space after folding. Join with a slip stitch. Then crochet 3 double crochets here. Connect in the adjacent motif's chain space. Slip stitch. Three double crochets. Slip stitch into the adjacent motif. 3 double crochets. On the previous corner, slip stitch at the motif corner. 1 chain stitch. Then crochet 3 double crochets at the corner. This is what it looks like after connecting. Now let's continue crocheting the edge. Continue crocheting the edge from here, 3 double crochets and 1 chain stitch. Crochet up to this point. After crocheting, you'll have these 2 edges left. At the very end, crochet a group of 3 double crochets in this corner. 2 chain stitches, connect the new motif. Place the new motif facing yourself. Insert and crochet 3 double crochets at the corner. Fold it after crocheting. Wrong sides together. Connect with the slip stitch place of the previous motif. Crochet 3 double crochets. Join with a slip stitch. 3 double crochets. Join with a slip stitch. After connecting the corner, crochet 1 more chain stitch. That completes the connection between these 2 motifs. Next, we continue crocheting the edge. Finally, with these 2 sides done, it's complete. We will now crochet the last motif too. The motif is still facing you. Crochet 3 double crochets into this space. Fold in half. Join with a slip stitch. Three double crochets. Join with a slip stitch. Up to this point, motif 2 has been completely connected. We will continue crocheting it until it's finished. Break the yarn here. The last stitch. Crochet 3 double crochets into this hole. One chain stitch. Then crochet one more double crochet. Chain and fasten off the yarn. Everyone, this is what it looks like after completing the first row. Next, we will connect the second row. Insert the hook into the large chain space on the right side of motif 2. Crochet 3 chains as the beginning chain. Then connect with 1 chain stitch and 3 double crochets. Crochet 3 double crochets in the same hole. Crochet 3 double crochets in the next chain space. Connect with a chain stitch. 3 double crochets. One chain stitch. Pay attention here, this is a corner. We add the other half's 3 double crochets. One chain stitch. Then in the previous row's 2 large chain spaces. Crochet 1 single crochet. 1 chain stitch. Crochet 3 double crochets in this big space. And so on. 3 double crochets, 1 chain stitch. Crochet 2 groups at the corner. 3 double crochets. Crochet 1 single crochet at the connection. Everyone finish this row on your own. The last stitch. Crochet 3 double crochets in the large chain space. One chain stitch. Crochet 1 more double crochet in the same hole. Connect the new motif. Still, have the right sides facing you for both pieces. Start with 1 chain stitch. Crochet 3 double crochets at the corner of the new motif. Fold in half. Crochet a slip stitch in the large chain space. Three double crochets. Slip stitch in the chain space. 3 double crochets. Slip stitch join. 3 double crochets at the corner. In the previous rounds, there is 1 single crochet here at the connection. Insert the hook from the wrong side. Crochet a slip stitch. 1 chain stitch. Three double crochets. Then we connect. After connecting this row, crochet up to this point. The first motif of the second row, we leave 3 sides. Crochet to this corner and connect a new motif. Follow the pattern to connect these 3 sides 1, 2, 3. Then continue crocheting the edges. Connect a new motif here. And so on. Everyone complete this row of crocheting on your own. Complete a group of 3 double crochets at the corner. Connect to the large chain space of motif 2 from the previous row. Crochet a slip stitch join. Then crochet 1 chain stitch. Crochet 3 double crochets in the same hole at the corner. 1 chain stitch. We follow along the edge of the motif. The stitch pattern is consistent with where the second row began, starting here. Connect all the way up to here. Finally, fasten off the yarn here. Don't forget 3 double crochets at this last corner. After completing, crochet 1 chain stitch. Weave in and connect at the joining point. Crochet a slip stitch. Pull the chain tight and fasten off the yarn. Everyone, this is what it looks like after the second row is completed. The third row will be similar to the first row. Please watch me demonstrate. First, arrange the motifs properly. Then we start crocheting from motif 2 on the far left. Insert the hook into the large chain space of motif 2. Draw the yarn through. Start with 3 beginning chains. Next, we connect to the corner on the far left of the second row. Turn the motif over to the wrong side. Crochet a slip stitch join in the corner. Crochet 3 double crochets in the same space. Then slip stitch join into the corresponding large chain space. Return to the new motif. Crochet 3 double crochets in the large chain space. Connect to the previous row's motif. Crochet in the chain space. Crochet a slip stitch join in the chain space. 3 double crochets. Slip stitch join. 3 double crochets. After the corner join, crochet a chain connection. We turn the corner from here to this corner. Connect a new motif. Connect a new motif here. Then connect these 3 sides 123. Then crochet along the edge to this corner. Connect another new motif. And so on. Finish this row. Finally, we crochet 3 double crochets in the large chain space of motif 2. Join with the previous row. Then crochet 1 more double crochet. Mindful, this double crochet is easy to miss. Last stitch connects each motif 2. At the end of each motif 2, you need to crochet 1 extra double crochet, then break the yarn. Up to this point, the third row is completed. The fourth row is exactly the same crocheting method as the second row. Please proceed with crocheting on your own. After finishing the fourth row, the joining method of motif 1 and motif 2, we have now finished explaining. Follow the pattern chart to crochet up to the corresponding row number. Then you can continue to crochet motif 3. We start from the first row. Take the side with clearer texture of motif 3 as the right side. First, on motif 3, insert your hook into the large loop of the chain on the far right. Chain 3 as a foundation. Then join with the wrong side of motif 2 facing you. Insert the hook into this large loop of the chain and make a slip stitch. Then make 3 double crochets in the same large loop of the chain. Make 1 slip stitch in the corresponding large loop of the chain from the previous row. Continue with 3 double crochets in this large chain space. Connect to the corresponding chain space from the previous row. Shanghai. In the adjacent chain space, continue with 3 more double crochets. Join with a slip stitch. Work 3 double crochets between the bobble stitches. Insert the hook from the wrong side, at the motif connection point in the row above. Make 1 slip stitch. Then chain 1. Work 3 more double crochets between the bobble stitches. Connect to the corresponding large chain space. Adjacent chain stitch. Work 3 double crochets in the large loop of the chain. Join with a slip stitch. 3 double crochets. slip stitch join. Three double crochets. Make one slip stitch join at the corner. One slip stitch join. Make one slip stitch join at the corner. Chain stitch. Work one double crochet in the same hole. This completes the connection of motif 3. Continue connecting motif 3 with the same method. The back side of the motif facing you. The right side of motif 3 facing you. We work one double crochet in the first chain space. Connect to the chain space of the previous motif 3. Next, work 3 double crochets in the same hole of the new motif 3. Then join with a slip stitch in the corresponding chain space. Adjacent large chain space, 3 double crochets. Join with a slip stitch in the corresponding chain space. We follow this pattern until the end. Finish with 3 double crochets. Join with a slip stitch in the large chain space from the previous row. 1 chain stitch. In the same large chain space, work another double crochet. That's how you complete the connection. 1 chain stitch. Pull tight and fasten off the yarn. After connecting one side, we don't need to connect the two side edges, because the sides have a smooth curve. The other side is wavy like this. Here, when connecting the pillow, you will join motif 4 with motif 5. Next, please watch me demonstrate. Take out motif 4 with the clearer texture side facing up, facing yourself. Still flip the blanket over. Insert the hook into this chain space. Three chains as the beginning chain. Then join, make a slip stitch at the corner of the motif. Then 1 chain stitch, work 3 double crochets in the beginning chain position. Then connect to the corresponding position of the motif, 1 slip stitch. Back to motif 4. 3 double crochets. Slip stitch join. 3 double crochets. Slip stitch join. 3 double crochets. Slip stitch join at the corner. Chain 1. 1 double crochet. This way, motif 4 is connected well. The connection method for motif 5 is roughly the same as motif 4. Everyone can complete it according to the chart. Up to this point, the explanation of connecting all motifs is finished. Next, I will demonstrate edging using a cushion. Start by crocheting 2 identical motifs as backup. Begin the starting chain from where motif 3 and motif 4 are located. In the large chain space on the far right, insert into the large chain space. Chain 3 as beginning chain. Same hole, then crochet 1 double crochet. Next is another double crochet. Then we skip 1 stitch and crochet 3 double crochets. Skip 1 stitch and crochet 3 double crochets. When we encounter a double crochet, we crochet 2 double crochets. We continue crocheting according to this pattern, until the end of this edge. Here we need to pay attention. We need to adjust the amount of edging on each side to a multiple of 12. Add 5, apply increase or decrease stitch at any position. For the last chain space, after completing the double crochet, crochet 2 chains. Then we take out the second motif, place it back to back and connect 2 motifs. Back to back. The same hole. Insert the hook through both motifs. Crochet 1 double crochet. Then crochet 2 more double crochets, 3 double crochet stitches. The beginning of these two motifs is now connected. These 3 sides need to be crocheted together. When you encounter a double crochet, crochet 3 double crochets. At the corner, crochet 1 double crochet. When you encounter a double crochet stitch, correspondingly make a double crochet. Everyone, take a look. This is what it looks like when it's connected. Here, pay attention. Make sure to crochet one side separately first, as the opening for the cushion. To place the pillow insert, we crochet this round according to the pattern chart. Finally, join with a slip stitch at the starting chain. Next, we move on to the second round. First, make 3 chain stitches as the beginning chain. Then crochet 1 chain stitch. Skip 1 space. Crochet 1 double crochet. 1 chain stitch. Below, skip 1 and crochet 1 double crochet. 1 chain stitch. Skip 1 space, 1 double crochet. 1 chain stitch. We follow this pattern to finish this row. Crochet to the corner. We crochet 1 double crochet in the large chain space of 2 chains. 3 chain stitches. Crochet another double crochet in the same hole. 1 chain stitch. Continue crocheting downward. 1 double crochet. 1 chain stitch. Skip 1 space, 1 double crochet. 1 chain stitch. After completing the second round, slip stitch at the starting point. Next, we will crochet the third round. 1 chain to start. Crochet 1 single crochet in the motif's hole. Crochet 3 chain stitches. Crochet 1 single crochet in the next chain space. Three chain stitches. Then we skip 1 chain space. Crochet 1 single crochet in this chain space. Three chain stitches. Crochet 1 single crochet in the adjacent chain space. 3 chain stitches. Skip 1 chain space. Single crochet in the next chain space. 3 chain stitches adjacent. Chain space single crochet. We complete this row according to this pattern. When you encounter a corner, start with 1 single crochet. 5 chain stitches. 1 single crochet in the same hole, 3 chain stitches, skip 1 chain space, crochet 1 single crochet in the next chain space, 3 chain stitches, 1 single crochet in the adjacent chain space, 3 chain stitches, skip 1 chain space, continue with 1 single crochet. Finally, slip stitch in the starting position at the single crochet. Next, we move on to the fourth round. First, after the single crochet, in this large chain space formed by 3 chain stitches, crochet 1 slip stitch. Bring the yarn up to this point. 1 chain to start. Then make 1 single crochet in the same space. One chain stitch. Then skip 1 large chain space again. Make 1 treble crochet in this space. 2 puff stitches. Please watch me demonstrate. Wrap around twice. Insert into the chain space. Hook out the hook. There will be 4 loops on the hook. Yarn over and draw through the first 2 loops from the front. This is an incomplete treble crochet. We make another stitch. Yarn over twice, and insert into the same chain space. Yarn over and pull through the loop. There are now 5 loops on the hook. Yarn over again, and draw through the first 2 loops. Thus, 2 incomplete treble crochets are done. Yarn over and draw through. We need to make 4 groups of clusters, with 3 chains in the middle for transition. Thus, a fan-shaped cluster is completed. Then we chain 1, skip a chain space, make a single crochet in the next chain space. Chain 1, then skip another chain space. Make another fan-shaped cluster here as well. After finishing the last corner, we chain 1. Finally slip stitch into the first single crochet. The 4th row of lace is done. Now let's move on to the 5th row. Directly chain 4. Then make a slip stitch in the next chain space. Then chain 4 again. Slip stitch in the next chain space. Chain 4. Make another slip stitch in the same space. Chain 4. Slip stitch in the next chain space. Then chain 4 again. Make a slip stitch in the same space. Chain 1. Slip stitch in the next space. Chain 4. In the same space, make a slip stitch. Chain 1. Slip stitch in the large chain space on the right side of the single crochet. Chain 1. Everyone look, the pattern for the 5th row is to slip stitch on each side of the single crochet, with a chain 1 connection on each side, connected by 4 chains in the middle. Fan pattern. At the 3 chain connection, in the middle, at every 3 chain connection, you need to slip stitch twice. Connect using 4 chain stitches. Work across the row following this pattern. Finally, at the position of the first beginning chain, slip stitch in the large chain space on the right to finish. Chain 1 and fasten off the yarn. Up to this point, our mosaic blanket has been fully explained. The edging technique for the blanket is almost identical to that of a cushion. Follow the chart to crochet it yourself. I won't demonstrate this part further here. Lastly, we will deal with the excess yarn tails. Weave in stitches according to the texture. You can hide a few more stitches. For those where the yarn has already been hidden, simply trim the tails. This middle position tends to come undone easily. Hide a few extra stitches. After hiding all the ends, we will sew buttons on this cushion, at the opening position of the pillow. Up to this point, all crochet methods for the rose mosaic blanket have been covered. That concludes our explanation. If you have any questions during the process, don't hesitate to reach us via our website. Susan's Family, supporting your handwork experience, sharing the joy of life. Thank you all for watching. See you in the next episode.